Mic check. More the Masters podcast. Y'all made, of course. I got a special guest across me. I got Antoniyah Rolland, 2025 AR Johnson graduate, recipient of the 2023 Youth of the Year for the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Augusta, 2025 GAHRA and high school scholarships winner. Graduated with honors. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. First off, congratulations. You've won a lot of awards, a lot of stuff. I had someone hit me up and said, "Hey, you need to interview this young lady. She's winning all these scholarships and she's not saving them for nobody else." So I was like, "That's what's up." So I definitely want to congratulate you from there. So behind us, I want to start there. Behind us, you got two big check scholarships. What's the first one is that Planet Fitness. So it's for $5,000, and then you have one from Barney's, and that's for $20,000. What did that feel like winning these scholarships? Like, what was that process like? Did you know about it? Did you have to sign up for it?
So with the $20,000 scholarship, that was through the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Augusta from me winning the 2023 Youth of the Year. That's a leadership program that I had to go through. I had to apply for it. I had to do many essays, many speeches, and then it all led to one big moment. And I gave my speech, and that's when they awarded me with the check. And from there, I go to the state level, which I was a recipient for the 2023 Georgia State Youth of the Year. And with that program, it just gave me a lot of different opportunities. It helped me meet so many awesome people. I've been in rooms with people I never even thought I would have been in rooms with, just from winning the Youth of the Year. And with this $5,000 scholarship, that was it was plastered around my Boys and Girls Club. So I actually applied 3 days before it was due because I was like, it's a lot of requirements. I don't know if I really want to do this or not, but I just applied. I had to submit a video saying how I would be judgment-free to the youth that's coming up. So once I applied to there, I just waited, and they emailed me in June, and they told me I was a winner of the $5,000 judgment-free generation scholarship.
Oh, that's great. That's what's up. I clap it up for you. I clap, but I think I seen you post it too, but I think even to listen to you talk now, your name is like it's attached to a lot of success. So even over time, and I know you got a book with you now. You have a lot of your awards starting from Head Start.
Yes.
I don't know if it's every award, but that's a full binder. You could show it real quick, and I want you kind of like just sift through it. Like, tell me some awards you got.
Okay. So these are, like he said, all the way from Head Start. When I was 3 and 4 years old, I have the Character Leadership Award. I have Outstanding Performance Certificates, A Honor Roll, and it's even some of my report cards, all A's.
Oh, wow.
Just a lot of my accomplishments. I was also the Champs program in 5th grade. I was the president for that. So that was a program through the Georgia Chefs Association, which gave leadership and helped me communicate with some of my classmates. I also got a character award for integrity and just a lot of different awards.
Yeah,
More
that's a
AB
big
honor
binder.
roll.
That's a big binder.
Yes, it's a lot in here.
Well, congrats to you. I do want to ask you some questions. I want to clap it up for you one more time. Thank you. Just amazing overall. Before I get into some of the questions, what does that feel like? From your perspective, because you're doing all the hard work. I just see the awards, right? What does that feel like? Like, how does someone become that attached to success in that way? Like, what's some of the work you had to put in?
First, you have to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, then you're not going to get anywhere. I feel like when I was little, I always instilled in myself, like, I have to do it. Like, it's not going to be given to me. I have to be the one to put in the work. I have to be the one to just go and get it. Because at the end of the day, it's only you. So, And also, you have to put God first. If you don't have God first, then what are you? I have a tattoo on the back of my leg. It says, "Without the power of God behind everything I do, I really am completely inadequate." And I really take that to the heart because without God, what am I? Without God, how can I move every day? Without God, how can I just go on about my day? So without him, I'm really nothing.
I like that. I want to kind of go back a little bit. So I wanted you to just kind of like show them, hey, this is why I'm here. But also I want to kind of get your story. So I'm gonna go all the way back to like when you first was born and stuff. Like, so talk about your upbringing, where you from. Talk a little about your upbringing, household, mom, dad, that kind of stuff. So
So I'm from Augusta, Georgia. I was raised by my grandmother and my granddad, but he unfortunately passed away. Just growing up, my grandma always instilled in me to be the leader, be the one who people look up to. She anything I wanted to do, my grandma, she let me do it. If I wanted to be Girl Scout, she instilled in me to do that. Dance team, anything I wanted to do, my grandma just pushed me to do it. And her enrolling me into the Boys and Girls Club really just gave me that spark to keep going. So
yeah. So I'm gonna ask about that a little bit because I hear like I interviewed a lot of basketball players this year before they did this little event called the Clash of the Clashes, and the Boys and Girls Club was it came up a lot. That's from sports. So this is scholarships though.
yes.
But so talk about that the Boys and Girls Club. Like what was it like for you to even attend there, and what is it like being there? 'Cause I never been, never.
Yeah. Starting off at the Boys and Girls Club, I was around 6 years old, and I only went in the summertime, so I didn't really get the full experience through the school year. So after like 2 summers of going, I told my grandma I wanted to come during the school year. I wanted to see what it was like year round. So she was like, "Okay, Naya, you can come." So I came my first day of school, and I loved it. I started out on the K through 5 side, and then I moved up to the teen center. On the K through 5 side, we had a Torch Club, which is just a mini leadership group before I can get to the teen side, which is the big leadership group, which is called Keystone. And when I moved up to the teen center, I became the Keystone president. And during my time there, it just taught me leadership skills. It really stepped me outside of my comfort zone because I would only talk to people like I knew. Like I wouldn't just talk to like a random person. But being in that leadership role, leadership position, it helped me expand my horizon. It helped me just communicate with more than just people I'm comfortable with.
Yeah. So you being in the Boys and Girl Club, right? When you say like people you was comfortable with, you mean like your peers, like your grade?
Yes, mainly I had 2 to 3 friends. I didn't really talk to everybody. Yeah.
So, because I wonder, like, so when you became president, like how did that happen? Like, what were you doing, or what I guess were you showing them for them to say, I'm picking you to be this leader?
I started putting myself out there more. I started participating in many different groups. I just signed up for anything they had plastered around the Boys and Girls Club. If it was a cooking class, I signed up for. If it was reading class, I signed up for it. I just really signed up for anything to just put myself out there and to give people, like, to show them who I am.
Right. You got any siblings?
One.
How much older are you?
She's 8 months.
Oh, okay. You're a lot older than that one. Okay.
Yes.
I asked that question because I was wondering, like, you being around a Boys and Girl Club or just signing up for everything, was it because you didn't have siblings? You felt like you wanted to do stuff, you wanted to be around, be active? Like, what was that like? Like, just not having that, brother or sister?
Yeah, growing up through the Boys and Girls Club really just gave me a second home. I felt safe there. I feel comfortable there. And the people there just made me feel like I was a part of their family, even though I didn't have any siblings at the time. The staff there made me feel welcome. They became my mentors. They just helped me along the way.
So I do want to talk about that a little bit. You mentioned you said you were raised by your grandparents. So describe that. Like, what's that like? I have cousins and stuff that are raised by my grandma too. I always envy them a little bit because I feel like grandma just a little nicer. Like I don't know from what side of your family, but I'm sure your mom would tell you like the grandparents, you get the nicer version when I don't know why, you just do. When you're younger, they might pop you. Grandparents are just like, hey, it's okay, let her do it. I'm like, when I did that, it was bad. Mm-hmm. So what was that like coming up with your grandparents?
My grandma, she is nice, but she also has the little mean side a little bit that she my grandma, she's a parent first. So she's my grandmother, but she's also like my second mom. So if I did something wrong, she would punish me for it. She's not going to just give me the slap and just say, it's okay, baby. My grandma's going to tell me right from wrong. She just going to instill in me to do better and just keep going no matter what.
Yeah, and I know you said your grandfather passed, but like from what you remember of him, like what was that like? What was he like?
Oh, he was the nice one. My grandma, she hated it. She was like, my grandma say no, I'll go ask him, he would say yes. So she just, I don't know.
So I talk about like, all right, so you coming up, right, like what area from in Augusta are you from, or would you live in?
Downtown Augusta.
Okay, okay. All right, so what was that like for you, aside from the Boys and Girl Club, like going to school and then living out there, like what was that like for you? What did you see, what was, like what you think helped mold you, shape you to like want to, do better and do well in school?
I think just seeing my environment, it wasn't really like sparkles and cherries every day. It was violence. It's violence everywhere, but it was violence. It was a lot of commotion going on. I think just seeing that instilled in me like I want to do better. I don't want to grow up and be in the same spot forever. So
Yeah. And I like that answer because I ask people, and I don't know if it's a difference between like male, female, men, women, but a lot of men, a lot of times too, would become a product of their environment. But it seemed like you did the complete opposite. You was like, well, this is what's around me. I know what I don't want to do, what I don't want to be attached to, and you kind of took the other route and you said, I'm gonna attach myself to success every chance I get.
yes.
Was that a thought when you were younger, or was it just one of them things where like I'm just young, doing what I'm supposed to do, and this is what's happening for me?
It was a thought when I was younger. I would see some of the people I went to school with. They would come home, get off the bus, and just go fight. That wasn't me. That was not me. I'm not a fighter. And when I looked at them, I was like, "Why are you doing that? Why would you do that?"
Yeah.
And that just really told me right there, like I'm going to be better than them. I don't want to be in the same spot as them, in that same predicament as them. I want to be something more. I want to be something better.
Yeah, I like that. That's what's up. So in school, because like I said, you got stuff from Head Start. So like you started very young, being successful. Did you ever feel like you had to chase that? Or was it something you wanted? Like what? Because like I said, if you're doing from Head Start, you hear a lot of stories, and I don't know if anybody else had this story. You got people who they're good all through elementary school, get middle school, different person. They're good all the way up to high school. High school, different person. Sometimes even college. You know what I'm saying? It depends. But it seemed like you've been consistently successful from the minute you walked into the minute you came into this earth. You've been successful from that point on up until now. So how were you able to sustain that? Like what kept you going to like, I want more. It's not enough. 'Cause even that, you got a $20,000 scholarship, which is a lot of money, you know what I'm saying? But then you say, let me get this $5,000 one out. I even see you got a $100 one. So like you getting all of them. You don't care what the amount is. If it's just free money, free scholarship, I want it. So like what was it that made you like still want to go further every time you were successful each year during your time in school?
I really think it was my grandma. She always pushed me to be more. Don't just settle for what you have now. It's always more out there, always more to get. You have an entry level job, you can always go back to school and have something better. It's always better out there. I feel like I'm not the person to just settle for something that I have. I feel like I always want more. Yeah.
So I'm just curious, and I'm not putting you on the spot, but like, have you ever failed a test?
Yes.
Multiple.
Multiple.
What was that feeling like? I asked that because, like I said, I'm looking for somebody who's been successful. You got a whole binder full of compliments and report cards. Most kids don't ever keep their report cards because it's nothing to keep, right?
Yeah.
So like, when you failed the test, like what was that feeling like? How did you feel?
I felt defeated. I felt like I didn't try hard enough to pass the test. Maybe I didn't study enough. Maybe it was something going on in my life, a distraction or something that just made me feel like that was the end of the world. And so I don't really like failing tests.
But how you bounce back from that? Like, so you failed a test, then what's your mindset from that? Once you face to face with a failure, you failed at something. What do you do to bounce back from that?
So what I do to bounce back from it, I go back and see where I went wrong. What was the problem? What was the issue? Why did I fail the test? And then I change it. So if I failed it because I wasn't studying enough, I would cut out some of my distractions that distracted me from studying enough. And then I would try again until I essentially passed the test.
What would be a distraction for somebody like you?
Phones, social media, just the world at itself. Like, it's a lot of distractions going on in this generation. Like, anything can be a distraction.
Okay. Now this is probably a sad question, but I want to ask. I'm trying to get to know you as a person. But like, I guess what age were you when your grandfather passed away?
2013. So I don't really know. 6. I
Okay.
think.
Okay. So you had just started school then at that point.
Yes.
Do you feel like that was something that affected you? Not like were you too young to understand it?
I feel like at the time I was too young to understand what was really going on. I know he was here one moment and then gone the next. So I just feel like that's
Yeah.
changed me.
But going into like schooling, was that ever something you thought about? Like, well, I want to make him proud. I want to, do this. I want to.
Yes, majority of the time it was to make him proud, but the other half is to make my grandma and my mama and everybody else proud.
Okay. Well, describe that too. I know she's in the room, so thank you. How you doing? But describe your relationship with your mom. Like, what's that like too?
Can you repeat it?
The relationship with your mom. Like, what is that like, far as for you and your schooling and stuff like that?
My relationship with my mom is really good. Growing up, she wasn't really there as much, but now she's came home, she's changed her ways, and I feel like we have a good bond. So.
But just looking into like, her and your relationship y'all got, what do you feel like attributes you got from your mom? I always feel like a kid. I don't care what the situation is. I feel like you get stuff from both parents. So like, what do you feel like you have from your mom?
My drive and my determination is from my mama.
Y'all look alike too. So it's just that's
Everybody says that. Everybody.
All right, and so with your grandfather not being there, and then you doing it with your grandma. Who else besides your mom was around like to help and like was a helping hand for like could be friend of the family, somebody at the Boys and Girl Club? Like who else you felt like impacted your life?
Some of the staff at the Boys and Girls Club, Mrs. Misha, she's one of my mentors. She still is, even though she no longer works for the Boys and Girls Club. She still calls to check on me, still check to make sure I have everything up to date. She's another person that stays on me. She doesn't want me to fail. She just wants me to keep going and be successful. Somebody else was my auntie, Victoria. She was another person. She don't play about me at all. Whatever it is, she's there. Whatever I want to do, she puts me into it. So,
I do want to ask, like, how important do you think that is? Because in the process of us talking and you talking about how successful you've been and how successful you will be, how important is it to have people like that in your corner, whether it be your mom, whether it be your grandmother, or these mentors that like don't play about you, or that make sure you stay on top of what you're doing, and how much you think that helps you kind of propel to like get all these awards and get all these scholarships that you did get?
I feel like having important people that keeps you going in your corner is what really makes an amazing person. Like, not having somebody there, you don't have nobody to fall back on. You don't have nobody to call on when you're feeling down. Just having those people around in your corner just brings you up, keeps you going, keeps you motivated, and just makes you want to do better. Because you have somebody you want to make proud.
Yeah, in the process of us talking, I will say things, and I think one thing I see a lot, and I can tell with you is why I asked that question is, you have people that love you and that care about you and that want you to succeed. And I think a lot of kids that don't have that, that's when you see them kind of fall into the pits. It's easy to fall into stuff when nobody around is like saying, don't do that. Or that's mature enough to tell you, don't do that. Or don't do what I'm doing. Or, hey, I'm doing this. That don't mean you need to do that. It's like having them realistic conversations, even with kids, you have to be real with them. I feel like no matter what, that's probably the best thing to do as a parent or as a mentor. What do you think from your mentors at least? What's one of like, I guess, the realest or most life is real kind of conversations you've had with somebody? Like where you feel like, maybe you like what they said, maybe, I don't know, but in hindsight, you realize that kind of helped me. It could be your grandma. I don't care who it is. I always feel like, and maybe you don't know yet, but I always feel like it's always a convo you have with somebody you don't like in real time. But as you look back on it, like, damn, I needed that. I kind of needed to be told that.
Be careful who you surround yourself around. I know that may seem little, but a little goes a long way. I feel like that's one of the most important factors of life is who you surround yourself around. Because if you surround yourself around gang bangers, around YNs or whatever they call it, then you're gonna be a product of that factor. Like, they're not gonna say, "Oh, she's not that because she hangs with them." They're gonna look to you all as the same group. They're gonna look to me as a gang banger if I was to hang with them. It'll be hard to stand out with people like that.
No, 100%. You can stand out, but just be the wrong way.
Yes.
You know? So, and Q would tell you the same thing. I say this all the time, probably too much, but you said it was small. To me, that's a big deal. I feel like the company keep is everything. I always feel like it's a lot of sayings about that. One of my sayings, I think what my dad used to tell me that, like, you know, you are the people you hang around. So if you hang around people that's like in a certain lifestyle, they're gonna attach that to you regardless. So I just said, we said your name is attached to success. Well, looking behind you, and I'm seeing $25,000 just in scholarships, just off two. That's what you attach to. So like that's the company you keep right now. I'm looking at it in the mirror in this camera lens. You got your award, you got your mom, and you got your scholarships in your brain. So that's your company you keep. That's not like that. But you do have people who they'll be around certain people or certain entities or a certain lifestyle, and by default, that's what they're gonna attach to you. So that goes without saying. I always feel like this. Even if me as a student, if I was a student, I just feel like I couldn't like I wasn't that bright, or maybe I don't read that well, I don't know math that well. I'll probably hang around you. I feel like that's the way.
Yes.
But I think even being younger, you don't understand it because in the young age, you feel like everybody's your peer. So there could be both 14 or we both 15 and we in the same grade, go to the same school, live in the same neighborhood. You like I have to talk to you because we peers. But I really don't.
Yes.
Our life chances might not be the same if I hang with you. So I gotta separate myself. So I do think that's great advice. I don't think it seems small at all. It might sound small to somebody that's thinking small, but if you're thinking long term and just success, I don't think it's small at all. So I want to get into so you went to elementary school. At what point do you feel like, okay, I'm gonna go to A.I. Johnson? Like what went into you going to that school versus a regular middle school or?
It was really my 5th grade teacher. She told me, she was like, I see something in you.
What's her name?
Miss Haynes.
Miss Haynes, okay.
Mrs. Haynes. She told me she seen something in me and that I should go test for a magnet school. At first I tested for Davidson, but then I quickly found out I didn't really have much of a talent to go there. And so then I looked into A.R. Johnson.
Can't act? Me neither, so it's all good.
And then I looked into A.R. Johnson and I seen all the programs they have, which they have a healthcare track and an engineering track. I fell in love with the healthcare track. So I tested on my birthday. I left all my friends at my sleepover to go test.
On your birthday?
I
What day
left
your
them at
birthday?
the hotel, February 16th.
Okay.
I left them at the hotel to go down to A.R. Johnson to test for the school. And then I got my response and I was accepted. And so ever since then, I've been going there.
That's what's up. I'm trying to get my daughter to go to A.I. Johnson. She's giving me a hard time.
It's a good school.
She's a good school? You wanted to leave. Oh, no, talk about that. Why you wanted to leave? Was it hard at first?
No, it wasn't the work. I just wanted to leave to get a real high school experience because at a magnet school, you don't really have much. There's no band, no cheer team, no dance team, nothing, just work.
I got you.
So I just wanted to leave to get the experience. So in 9th grade, I was like, maybe I should leave. And then I was like, let's stay one more year to see how to be for high school.
Got you.
And so I ended up staying. I just stayed the rest of the time.
So I ain't trying to Q, you went to Laney, right, Q? What high school you went to? Laney and Richmond? Okay, now I went to Butler and Josie out here. You ain't missing nothing. We just went to tell you that right there. You ain't missing nothing.
But we don't have no homecoming. It's nothing, literally.
You can go to any school homecoming.
I do, but it's not the same as your own school, repping your own
I can see
school.
that. But I feel like this. You went to the Boys and Girls Club, right?
Yes.
So you knew people from there. So I guess I don't know what around which one you went to, but if it was close to Lane or closer to Josie, those or Glen Hills, whatever. Where your friends went? Where your main friends? What school they went to?
A.R. Johnson.
A.R. Johnson. Okay. So you ain't none of the kids from Boys and Girls Club you kept in contact with as far as like being friends?
One, her name is Mackenzie. She went to Davidson. So.
Oh, okay. Well, you got good company. I don't know. You got some good company. You ask me. That's good schools. Not that the Josie and them not, but I was gonna say like you could just go your friend or your cousin or somebody else or just go to school. You ain't missing nothing. And also your mom and Q will tell you we have to pay. Believe it or not, it's our homecoming. We still got to pay to get in. So I know I did. I don't know about them. Yeah, you don't get in free. You don't get in the game for free because you go to the school. It don't work that way. So, but you're not missing nothing. So when you say high school experience, like, what you thinking like when you see movies or you hear about it? Like, I guess because your era a little different. Maybe social media, Did it look like it was live to you? Like you wanted to feel how that felt to?
Yes, I know during homecoming week at Laney specifically, it looked so fun. Like just being at Era Johnson and Laney right across the street.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, why can't I go over there and experience that?
So y'all don't have homecoming week at all? Y'all don't do no festivities in L. Johnson?
It is, but
So what y'all? No, you ain't got to diss. It's not. I'm not dissing L. Johnson. I love it. You know, okay. If they're listening, please accept my daughter. But like, what do y'all do?
Wacky Tacky Day.
Why you started with that one? Come on. Why you gonna start with Wacky Tacky?
Wacky Tacky Day. Anything but a book bag day. I'm trying to think
This
of
is
the
good
other
stuff.
ones. Dress like a teacher day, meme day, and class colors day.
Interesting.
Sounds fun, right?
That sounds amazing. Oh yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
Exactly.
I guess, and then starting Johnson in 6th grade. Oh, at 12, I can see that. 6 years of that, I was like, all right now. Cause you probably left and came back. You know, you could have came back. You know, but I do think you made the right decision just staying. Like you're not really missing. You could have fun in college. Like colleges be fun. Y'all have homecoming and stuff there. They say it's good in college too. So you know you could do that. But or just ask somebody to describe it. Ask your mom. She'll tell you how they was. She went to Laney. So yeah, you'd be good to go. But I do think the company you keep, I think that's kind of a big theme. But I think also with the things you were saying for us homecoming, it still seemed like it was like success driven still. Like just like a teacher day, it's still like success driven.
Yes.
But y'all don't have no sports, no cheer team, none of that stuff, right?
We have a few sports: track, soccer, swim, cross country.
You know, you just don't seem excited
Golf.
naming these sports. Yeah, but I do think that's something they should change. At some point, they should get a basketball team or volleyball team. I think that'd be nice for the school.
We have volleyball.
I mean, basketball team, football team,
Yes.
if they could. I think that'd be nice. But I don't know the ins and outs of that. So, but describe your time there. Like, what's it like going to school in the 6th grade, and is it all one school?
Yes.
So you in 6th grade and it's 12th graders there.
Same building.
So you, she was not having it, bro. She was not having it. So you telling me, 6th grade, and I was 11, so you might have been 11 too. 11, 12, whatever. But you could possibly around 18, 19-year-olds, depending on what time they get out of school. That's tough. What was that like? Like, what was that dynamic like? Y'all go to lunch together? Like, what? I guess, I don't know how these schools work. Tell me how those kind of schools work. I ain't never been in magnet school.
So mainly it's pretty much separated. Like the high school part would be at the top, but you would still see them walking through the hallways and stuff. 6th grade, I just had classes on one hall, so I didn't really go anywhere but to lunch in the bathroom. And I really enjoyed my time there, being able to grow up with the same people I started with, graduate with the same people I started with, really just made me happy. It wasn't really much of a change going from middle school to high school. I know with some kids, it's a big transition going from middle school to high school. It wasn't really much.
But see, I think that's what's good about the school. It wasn't much for someone like you because y'all was already kind of there. So they kind of like preparing y'all for that. So that adjustment is not like super, super, super crazy. Was it, this is just a question I have, I'm thinking about it. Like, was it, you said the same people you started with, was there anybody that you know of, and you gotta say their name of course, but like, that maybe they did leave A.R. Johnson, go to regular school? And like, how successful were they? Or like, how did they pan out, like leaving the school?
They
They did
came
okay
out pretty
still?
good.
They got $20,000 scholarships?
Oh, no.
I guess everybody ain't got that either, so it don't matter. But I'm just curious as to like,
Yeah.
okay, so that's still good though. My question I asked that is just like in the sense of, did you ever think, okay, well if I leave, it's a possibility. Yeah, I might experience homecoming. Like, I don't know, just okay, yeah, it's cool, you know. Then what happened after December? Like after that's done, then what? Like what if you experience other stuff? Like it's a lot of wild stuff going in public schools that probably don't. Not saying it don't happen at magnet school, but it's less likely. I would say it's every day. Whatever a bad day at the magnet school you probably had, I don't know what your worst day was or whatever your worst time was. It's probably that times 12, and that's a regular day for us in public school. So we just be chilling. Do what you gotta do when you go home. Magnet school is a little more. You gotta do a little more work, you know, but they require a lot more from y'all too for that reason. Did y'all get any like extra like people coming to speak, like as far as like that matter, that means something as far as like outside the city? Like what kind of speakers did y'all have come to y'all school, or people y'all had come to y'all school to kind of talk to y'all?
I know we had this lady from some part of UGA. It was like a healthy habits eating program, and she would come every Tuesday and Thursday and teach us about healthy living, healthy lifestyles, and she would cook little snacks for us and stuff. We also had people coming from different colleges speaking to us about how we could apply, what could we do to attend their school. We had people from around the city. I know we had a commissioner come in one time. People from a plumbing area, electricians, just people in a workforce that gives us hope and see that we can be one of them one day.
And this was on a regular. Yeah, we don't get that. I mean, y'all got that? I didn't get that. You got that, Q? Elaney? Yeah, I ain't get that at Laney, Josie, or Butler. None of them. Just, nah. I had to find it myself. I said, oh, people do this around here. So in the sense of like you, and it's not that, I get the wanting the homecoming thing, but it's like, think about taking that one thing away, but giving you like hundreds of more opportunities to do something else, you know? Because you said y'all had an engineering side and the health.
Healthcare.
So that's good for the engineering side. I'm gonna give you just a quick rundown. Not that this Butler, but you know, I don't care about no schools like that. But like, I remember I came down here, I moved down here, I was going to 10th grade, and a lady was like, this is how they explained it to me. I don't know how they explained it to you when you went to A.R. Johnson, but I'm signing it. My grandmother signed me up, and the lady says, well, hey, do you want to do tech prep or college prep? I'm from New York. I don't know nothing about what that means. I said, I don't know. And I didn't want to be here anyway, so I had an attitude. I'm like, I don't know. She's like, okay, well, look, you want to take Spanish or not? I said, nah. Tech prep, that was it. Like, that was my engineering. It wasn't nobody coming to the school. And then tech prep, this is what we did. We went to the class. They gave out some books, some textbooks. I don't know if y'all get that no more. We had textbooks back then. So they gave textbooks. They all stink. And then they said, okay, define all of the words in chapter 16. The next day be 17. The next day be 18. I don't know what none of them words mean to this day. Like you just wrote it down in the back of the book. Because remember in the book, it was like, it'd be bold. So instead of, to me, I was just smart. Instead of reading the chapter, I go to the last page, the definitions, and I write them down. Hey, I'm done. And we just talking about nonsense, nothing. But we did get to see homecoming though. So I guess if you want to, it's just my thing was like,
we had that at A.R. Johnson ×3. It'll be like 2 chapters a day. Yeah, see, 3 chapters a day.
You probably know what them words mean, though. I don't know. I just wrote it down. Oh, you don't? You probably do. You seem like a smart. If I show you some kids I was in school with, I could tell you where they at right now. I could tell you what some of them kids at right now. But in a sense, I'm just saying, like, you know, even just the idea of explaining some things to you. You said you fell in love with the help. I didn't fall in love with nothing. I just chose something. I said I just didn't choose Spanish. And then guess what? I went to college. Guess what class I failed in college? Spanish. So whoever that was, thank you a lot because you really explained it to me and got me in the game. I appreciate that. So talk about like, so in the high school sense now, so you go through your middle school, in the high school sense of being at A.R. Johnson, how would students define you? Like, how are you looked at? Because I'm looking at what you're saying and seeing this binder full of awards. I feel like everywhere you went, you kind of, you know, had your feet planted. Like, I'm here to succeed. So, what was the reputation you had as far as like, you know, in school now?
I feel like they would call me a teacher's pet because every time I went to class, I was always trying to see what the teacher would need. I would always be the one to raise my hand to help. I sat in the front of the class to make sure I got the information that was needed. Yeah, I think they would call me a teacher's pet, but.
Well, so that's twofold, right? The teacher's pet thing. I don't think it's a bad thing for one, but this is the thing I say about life. Life is funny like this, right? Hopefully you never have to experience this, but it's better to be a teacher's pet and then be successful in life than to not be a teacher's pet and then you have to work somewhere like making whatever and you kissing your manager's, you know, now you're a manager's pet. But you could have been a teacher's pet all your life and you've been successful. So I don't know, you're going to get it at some point. Every time I feel like there's nothing wrong with seeing something or someone successful and you wanting to understand and be around that. So like you said, you know, you are the company you keep, which I think is why it's a very fitting theme for what you're telling me because you seem like you wanted to be around to people that knew stuff, people that was knowledgeable, people that had a successful future or a bright future, you know. So I don't see nothing wrong with that. But also, I'm looking at the scholarships you got, which I'm gonna have you speak on in a minute. I think that's also a thing. I think people, when they see success, it's never like, they never see the hard work you put in. They just see what they want to see. So they just see like, oh, well, she always running teacher, so it must be because that. It can't be because you might have went home, studied all night. It can't be because when you failed the test, you got mad and then made sure you aced the next 10 of them. It's never that. It's always because the first thing they point out is the easiest thing. Oh, because that. So I think the teacher's pet thing is probably just more so, it's young minds thinking young. So I can't even blame them because I probably would say the same thing in school. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But me, older me, I would say that. So I want to talk about the scholarships. How many scholarships did you get?
17.
That's a lot. 17 scholarships is crazy. Talk about that. Like, how do you get 17 scholarships? Like, what was you doing to? Like, were you looking for them? Did you walk into them? Was it just because you were doing great things? Like, 17 is a lot.
Some of them I really looked for. Like, I would go on the Richmond County page and just type in RCBOE scholarships. Even if it wasn't on my school page, I know it was some on Butler's page. Just all the counselors just throwing scholarships out there to students. And I feel like after that, I just started on my scholarship essay, because I know with scholarship essays, you can write one and just use them for multiple scholarships.
Stop. I'm sorry, right there. You said a lot of stuff I don't even know. How'd you know, three things, well, maybe four, I don't know. How'd you know to check on Butler's page or other schools' page for scholarships? I need to know that first. And then, like how'd you know about the scholarship essay? How'd you know that they just start on that when you start applying for scholarships?
Okay, so I knew to look on Butler's page and other school pages because I know every school has a counselor, and I know my counselor might not put out all the scholarships, and I know I'm in the same county as the other schools and the other students. So if I just typed in Richmond County Board of Education scholarships, all the schools would come up, all the counselors would come up. Every scholarship that any counselor in Richmond County has put out, it would come up. So then I just applied, seen the requirements, and I knew to start on my scholarship essay because growing up, some of my mentors told me, like, when you apply for scholarships, you're going to need an essay, you're going to need a cover letter, you're going to need recommendation letters. So keep a good standing with people because you never know who you might need. So when I started writing my scholarship essay, I didn't know what to talk about at first. I knew, like, sometimes you have to be put on a pity, like, give out sad sob stories for people to just pick you, feel bad for you, and give you the money. So that's what I did. I wrote a sad story, and I contacted my mentors. I asked them for recommendation letters, and just like that, I applied to the scholarships.
So for every scholarship you got all 17, you apply for each one.
Yes.
Was that a lot of work? Because I know a lot of them scholarships got paperwork, got a lot of stuff you got to fill out, a lot of requirements. Some require more than others. I don't know how much the $20,000 one require, but you got some scholarships that just, they just let us know you want one. We'll see. Send your report card. We'll see. Send this. What's your GPA? What was that process like? Was it like a lot to fill out each one?
To me, I didn't really feel like it was like maybe 2 to 3 pages each. But I know for certain scholarship pages about you, like your name, your address, school, and just basic information. And I know with some of the scholarships, I had to actually sit down and tweak my scholarship essay. Because like I said, you can use it for multiple ones, but some scholarships require certain things. Like one of the essays might be leadership. One of them might be growing up in a black community. Like you would have to tweak it to fit that specific scholarship.
So I think that's interesting as well, that you had kind of like a base story, but you can tweak it to black community leadership or whatever they wanted to do. That take a lot of, like, you must know how to write well.
Yes.
You write stories, you write essays?
Not really.
What do you think your strong suit is as far as academics wise?
I mean ELA, but like I don't like writing, but I know I can write. That's
okay.
the thing.
Which stuff do you hate the most, or you like the least?
Science.
Science.
Yes.
Why science?
Really just one class made me just hate science.
Which one was it?
It was, what class was that?
Biology?
No, not
Physical
biology.
science? Oh, you lost me there. That's all we have when I was
the
younger.
one with that man.
Physics? Oh, it's like, yeah, okay, I can see. That is difficult. It's like math and reading together, so
Yes.
yeah, it is hard. Okay. But the right teacher could be, yeah, it is hard. I ain't gonna lie, it was hard to me too. It was hard. But back to the scholarships, what was your first one? Like, what was your first scholarship, if you remember, that you got? And then what did that do for you as far as like, I might can get more.
This was actually the first scholarship
Jesus
I got.
Christ. Look, come on. That's great success. Your first
Yeah.
scholarship of $20,000? Bro, that's wild. That's what's up though. And that process you said it was through the Boys and Girls Club. Okay. So even still the requirement might have been one thing, but you have been going to Boys and Club since you was younger. So that's a lot of years that just paid off. Okay. And then your next one, like you got to say it in chronological order, but because 17 is a lot, you might not know it in chronological order. But what was the next one that you got that you was like, okay, I'm gonna just keep applying this and apply this?
My next scholarship was for 1,500 from this organization. I forgot the name of it. I know I was at a sneaker ball one time, and they just paused the music, and the people from the organization came up. It was like, we have this special young lady we want to give this scholarship to. We've been watching her, and they awarded it to me.
So with the scholarships, right? Now I know you said it was 17. I don't know if you remember everything, but like what the most amount was 20, right? That's the highest one you got.
No,
Oh, no?
I think it's like 64,000.
No, altogether you talking about? Or just you got
No,
one?
one of them.
Okay, okay, hold up. All right, let me back up real quick because it's a lot of money. So you got the $20,000 one, but you also have another one for over 60,000. Okay, so let's talk about that one and how you got it, when you heard about it, and what you had to do to get it.
I really just this one wasn't a local one. It was like one of the more bigger ones. I looked up scholarships just on Google, and I found it, and it was like it wasn't the scam ones, the no essay scholarships, because you don't win from those.
Those scammers. Okay, yeah, make
You
sure I put
don't
it out
win.
there.
I promise you don't.
If you didn't win, then you don't win, definitely.
You
I already know
don't.
that right now.
And I was like, at first it didn't tell me the amount. So I just applied to it with my essay, and then I had to submit 3 recommendation letters, and I think I had to submit my transcript and some community service that I've done within the community. And once I applied to those, I just was like, I'm probably not going to win because, I don't know, it's a broad one, like thousands, millions of people can apply to it. And so I just waited, and I think in April, I got an email back saying that I won. So.
When you got the email, like what was that feeling like?
I was happy. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I had to make sure that it wasn't a scam email. I had to do all my research. So, yeah.
What did your grandma say about a lot of this stuff?
She was like, she used the same line, baby, I'm so proud of you. Baby, I love you. Like, that was her line. That's her line.
Oh boy, that's what's up, man. And about your mom, like what would she say when you tell her that?
My mama said the same thing. Baby, I'm proud. I love you so much. You beat the odds, and just giving me words of wisdom.
Yeah, I definitely think, even saying you living downtown, you've been going to a Boys and Girls Club, like I said. I hear a lot of success stories, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other stories I don't hear about because I'm not speaking to a lot of kids that's at risk right now. So I'm sure there's other stories as well. But even like being surrounded or in an environment where it's easier to fail than to succeed, that's an odd in itself. So, and you get all these scholarships, it's no disrespect to anybody at all, but you got a scholarship worth $64,000. Some people work hands and knees to make that in a year, So like to be able to get that off academics and just off being consistent while being in school, which is, you might not know, it's a hard thing to do. I don't know, like everybody just can't do it. I hadn't been to school, people in 9th grade just like, this ain't for me, bro. I ain't coming back, man. And they just don't come back to school ever again. Like, that just be it. So to be consistent and also us be challenged on a day-to-day basis, going to a magnet school, wanting to be around good company. It's easy to want to be around that's what's fun. Even you wanting to see homecoming, like, I want to go to, but just having that, like, I'm gonna stay where I'm at. Those are the decisions that you make that in real time you probably don't like, but in hindsight you realize it was good for you. So I'm gonna keep going down with some of the scholarships. At what point did you feel like, okay, I'm gonna stop taking everybody's college? Anybody call you and be like, can you leave something for me or no? Like what kind of? Because 17 is a lot. You might have the most. That might be the most I've not probably in the world, but that I heard of. Like from as far as me seeing somebody, and 17 is a lot. I had one. I had a Hope scholarship, and but you just get that if you got a good GA. You just got to go to school.
Yeah.
Do they still do that?
I have.
You got that too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. See, so I knew I had something in common with you. So I do want to speak about this, like school wise though. Like what school you want to go to?
I'm attending Kennesaw State University.
Kennesaw State. That's a good school. So clap that for you. I do want to know what went into the decision to go to that school. Like what was it about that school? What other schools on your list to go? Like talk about that experience.
I know back when I was in 10th grade, my mom took me on a college tour to Kennesaw State University. And then I really got to lay out my options. So I know I was out of Kennesaw, Georgia State, and Georgia Southern. I know,
picked the right school. I'm clapping up for you again, man. You just finished high school.
I know Georgia Southern, I didn't want to go there because it was too close to home. Georgia State, they didn't really have a campus, so like, I know I wouldn't feel safe. So Kennesaw was the next option, and they have a really good medical program. I know I want to be a nurse practitioner. So their partnership with WellStar and me attending there, I could get a lot of opportunities and a lot of internships to become the nurse practitioner.
That's dope. I think that listening to your process of why you didn't pick schools or you did pick certain schools, a lot of kids can learn from, because a lot of times we'll pick what's close to home, but that's not a good reason. It's not a good reason to go to school. And then also, I feel like it's a good pipeline for what you're doing right now. And then also opportunities here. So we're like, and I don't know if people know, but Augusta's a real, it's a heavy medical area, as far as nationwide, not just in Georgia, but nationwide. It's like a top 10, probably 5 medical field. So I do think that's a good pipeline, especially doing stuff with WellStar and Kennesaw. So I think that's a good idea. What eventually, like, do you want to be? Like, I know you going to school, medical field, but like, what do you want to do? Like, what's your career path? What do you want to do?
I want to be a pediatric nurse practitioner.
Okay. You got to tell me what that is and what that means. You said a lot of big words just now.
A nurse practitioner is basically right under a doctor. They're able to write prescriptions. They can have their own business, their own healthcare facility, and just basically do everything a doctor can do, but just as a nurse practitioner.
Have you been around anybody that do that now?
Yes, I have.
How's that like? What would y'all do? Do you shadow them? Is it more Q&A?
Actually, the Boys and Girls Club brought somebody in so I can talk to them, and just ask them questions about how did they get there, how long did it take them, what classes did they start off with, so I can just really get myself out there and start working towards what I want to be.
But how did you stumble? Was it the Boys and Girl Club where you stumbled upon that career path? Like, what made you even like know about what that particular career path was?
At first I just wanted to be an RN, but then once I went on a hospital tour with the Boys and Girls Club, like 3 summers ago, we toured AU, the hospital. I got to meet the president of Augusta University. Seeing how there was a lack of nurses and like support and help in our healthcare field really solidified my decision to be a nurse practitioner.
Okay, I like that. But I want to get back into like some of the college. So like, what are you expecting for college? Like, what's your expectation going to college? College is a big jump. So it's a huge jump. Like, not to scare you, of course. I mean, you, so you're gonna be fine anyway. But what's your approach, I guess, leading up into going to college?
Just basically figuring everything out on my own. Like, I know I'm going to be by myself up there, so just being able to like be the young adult and just fend for myself is really what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. Just like I said, for me, advice is I would say just still talk to your mom, your grandma, or your mentors. Be honest with them about whatever, and even if you're feeling away, because like I said, it's easier to direct or redirect someone when they 5 miles, 10 miles away. It's a little difficult when it's like 2 hours and 2 hours and change away, and then they not saying, "You having a bad day? Tell me you're having a bad day. Having a good day? Tell me you're having a good day." Let them know. Let them be a part of the lifestyle. I just think in college sometimes when you do start doing it yourself, you can get, backtrack. But I feel like you got a good head on your shoulders, so I feel like you'll be fine. What was that like? Describe that feeling. Like, what was graduating like? What was that like for you?
Um, Graduation was one of the best days of my life. I know at graduation I gave an inspirational speech, and just every day, well, every other day, I go back and listen to the speech because I said so many powerful and inspirational words within the speech. I even quoted something that Maya Angelou said, and just graduating felt like not that I'm finished, but I'm closing one chapter and I'm opening another one.
So, what were you for your graduation? Wasn't you? I don't know these words. You were something, or you just was a speech.
I just gave an inspirational speech.
So, but for that speech, you said something that Maya Angelou said. What was that? I'm only asking because I want to ask what it mean to you. So you have no verbatim, but like whatever she said, like give me a roundabout. Like what was supposed to
It
inspire?
was do the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better.
Okay. What does that mean to you?
Do the best you can until you know better. I feel like that means keep going until you know like it's time. Like and then to know better is to do better. When you know that it's time, you're gonna do better than what you've done before. Like you're gonna always progress. You're gonna always do better than what your past self done. Like you're gonna look back and it's like, dang, I was really there. Now look at me. So
I definitely think it's more of a reflective thing too. I do think
yes.
that as well. Those are very inspiring words. How'd you find that stuff? You look up some stuff, or like you into Maya Angelou? Like what?
I know when I was in Head Start, I said a Maya Angelou speech. It's Still I Rise by Maya Angelou, and ever since then I've like followed things that she's written and I feel like putting one of her quotes into my inspirational speech would inspire people the same way that it inspired me when I was 3 or 4 years old.
Aside from anybody in your family, like, what's some women that inspire you?
I know the CEO of Boys and Girls Club, Mrs. Kim Evans. She's inspired me. Dr. Condoleezza Rice. I actually met her. You said aside from Boys and Girls Club and my family. My teacher, one of my teachers at school, Mrs. Freeman, she's inspired me. And just, I think that's it, actually.
No, I just think it's great. I had talked to Janice Allen Jackson. I don't know if you know what it is, but I'm gonna send this to her. Hopefully, she reached out to you. Black lady from Augusta, Georgia. She used to be the city manager at one point too, but she did a lot of stuff outside the city, then came back. But super knowledgeable, know a lot. Just know a lot. But she was telling me her story, and she was saying that when she came up in her era, which is not our era, she said some people she looked up to was Carrie J. Mays and S.C. McIntyre, right? And to me, I'm not from here, so I never knew those to be like, I ain't trying to be funny, but real people. I never knew. They were just streets to me. Yeah. But to have somebody, say that, I thought was great. I just think somebody like you, continue doing what you're doing, you can have a child, a young woman, man, whatever, say the same thing about you as well. Like, I looked up to Miss Rolland. I looked up to some stuff she done. So I always think keep that in the back of your mind because, like, yeah, you're doing it for you and you want to do it for yourself and for your family, but it's all about the legacy you keep behind as well. So as you continue to do great things, you want to leave great things behind. And you never know who's picking it up. So just keep that. And then you got a young sibling now. So, you just never know. I do want to ask you, like, just kind of closing, like, when for as far as when you graduated and your graduation day, what I know you mentioned it being a chapter that was closed. How would you define that chapter though of high school?
Impactful. I know it was a lot of motivation going on within that chapter, a lot of growth, really finding myself, and just being able to expand my horizon a lot. That's what I would define my high school, middle school, elementary.
And I'm gonna ask you, this is a want question. What would you like to define your next chapter, which is college, when you're done, when it's all said and done? How would you like to define it?
I want to be successful. Even though I already pretty much successful already. I want to be more. I always want to be more than what I have now. I want to be that nurse practitioner. I don't want to be just somebody that's fell to the pot. I want to be an inspiration to everybody else. I want to be able to look back and just say, "Dang, I've done that. I'm more than what I've ever been." So,
I definitely think that. I think just continuing success is going to prepare you to continue to do better. I think keep reaching that as well. So I would say, even though, like I said, you got 17 scholarships, awards galore, just attached to success. Just keep it that way. The main thing, but also continue just to set small goals so that you continue to keep reaching those goals. I think don't ever stop setting goals. I think once you stop, or if you ever feel like, well, I'm good, this is good enough, If you ever feel that way, then kind of that can be a downward spiral. But to continue to keep, even set them high, set them far. Like feel like it's something you can attain, and then you go after it. 'Cause even if you don't get it, you can still go forward. But I think that'd be my advice to anybody going to college. But that's just like you who been successful, throughout life. So, is there any message you want to give to like a younger kid that's going? Maybe they going to A.I. Johnson. Maybe they want to go to homecoming. I don't know. Like, you got any message you want to give to the youth?
I want to say always stay true to yourself. Never change for anybody. No matter how much somebody might not like you, there's always somebody that will like you. Never change. Always be yourself. Always want more for yourself. Don't ever settle for less. And always remember that the world is a scary place, but if you stay to yourself and be true to yourself, then you will succeed.
I like that. Q, you got any questions? You sure? All right. Well, I definitely appreciate you coming through. This was a great episode. I like that. I wish you much success. I want you to continue being successful. Reach out. When you want to come back on and talk about your college experience, that'd be nice too. If there's any programs you want us to highlight for you, or anything we can do, or more to masters, or Q, or just reach out and let us know. But we wish you the best, and I'm gonna clap it up for you.
Thank
Congratulations
you.
once again. 17 scholarships is a lot, so I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Morning Masters Podcast, we out.